I hate social media. And I know that can sound a bit hypocritical seeing I create content, but sometimes social media just gives me such a false sense of reality. What I find to have started as a space to connect with others, be inspired, and chase your passions has really devolved into mixed opinions, constant arguments, and a lack of human empathy. When I scroll online from time to time, I think it really establishes a false sense of opinion. Think of hate comments, hate tweets, and things of that nature. You can see someone hating on something and see it get thousands of likes. And in your brain, it sort of tells you that that's like the worldwide perspective on that one thing. Like stumbling on a post hating someone and the comments all validating that. It can feel like that's a majority opinion that most people probably hate that one thing. But we tend to forget when we're online, the space can feel so confined. But in reality, compared to the billions of the world, those opinions are just such a niche, biased, and minority of how the world actually perceives something. And it's funny because people seem to be so validated by their hate getting so many likes. It validates to them that their opinion on that thing reflects how everyone else should view it. But then when you go out and actually put yourself in situations to see the opposite, the hate starts to feel so silent, and those opinions that you thought were universal were really just a small group of people that seem so loud on social media. I think the biggest example is music artists. Pop music artists in particular, due to how popular they are, get so much hate online. It almost seems like everyone you come across hates these people and their music, but then you realize these people are popular for a reason. They sell out shows of thousands, have millions of followers, and they have loyal fans. And it completely contrasts opinions you see online. And that made me realize, because I was someone that thought comments with a lot of likes is kind of a valid opinion. Since it's a popular opinion, it must have some merit to it. But the more you scroll, you realize some spaces are just built on pure ignorance or bigotry and hate that over time, the amount of likes doesn't really have that much merit anymore, because people will just agree what they think is right even if it's built from something that's not really moral or made out of love. You will really stumble into some miserable spaces on social media where it's not even about making a point or celebrating anything. It's really just about blindly hating anything without a reason, rage baiting others, which is literally just being an asshole. And being in this spaces literally affect you so much, because you start to question how people can be this indecent. And a lot of it too, being online, people will just feel very confident to act completely different to how they are in real life. They'll probably be saying the wildest stuff online when in real life they're probably the biggest losers imaginable. But because you see that part of them that's hating and you don't really get the full context of them as a person, you can't help but feel frustrated by them. Even if these people approach you with these opinions in real life, you probably wouldn't even give it much thought because they're probably stupid. And that leads on to my next point, that recently, social media over time has really lacked human empathy. And I think it's due to the fact we don't really see the people we interact with on social media as humans. We just see a picture on a screen, we just see an account with maybe some pictures, and that's all we really see. And we don't really get the full context of their lives. We don't see them as people like us who have issues, who have problems, who have their struggles. We just see them as humans on the screen, and we kind of judge them based on what they say or what they post. And I think that's why there's a lack of human empathy. There's groups of people that really frown empathy and see it as a weakness and that it doesn't entail growth. But the irony is the same people who frown empathy have a victim mentality. They don't want to feel bad for anyone else. They don't want to try to understand anyone's circumstances, but they want that for themselves. They want the people around them to engage in their issues and feel bad for them and just be a victim in their own lives. If they see someone with problems, they'll downplay it because they think that their issues are bigger. And It's really sad because our humanity and our shared experiences are something that can bring us together during challenging times, and it's just not something that's really present. I think we've just been so alienated by social media to not really see people as humans, so it's so easy to hate on people or say really mean things because, yeah, we just don't think they're people that get affected by things the same way we do. But, we're all human. And I know there's good sides of Instagram or whatever social media where there's a lot of encouragement and content that can actually inspire, but I think it can tend to be so overshadowed sometimes by slop and content focused on hating people. And there's times where I just miss the old social media when I was a kid where no one was really nonchalant, people were cringe, but it was more just authentic moments of their life that people didn't have to prop up or have to do a million takes just to look good. I hope that people can regain empathy, people can be kinder to one another, and I'm a small creator. I don't really have much to say on how the world works, but I hope in my content creation journey, I am a positive influence and also attract positive audiences. But I think it's really important to go out there and experience the world, because I think when we're online, the world can seem so bleak. It can feel like it's just full of hatred, but I think a lot of nice people just don't spend all their time online. And it's good to explore the people and realize that there's beauty in the world and kind people to meet. And yeah, I think we still all have a lot of room to grow in our lives.